What's up, everybody? Welcome to KJ Studios. It's your boy Jay.
It's your girl Kaya.
And today we have a Netflix.
And we're going to be talking about the Avatar Last Airbender live action Netflix series. That's so long. We need to find like an abbreviation or something for it.
Atla cast.
Y'all know the Atla cast.
Don't pronounce it like that.
I
The Atla cast.
Anyways, let's get into it. Alright, so if you have not seen our update video, check that out because we did announce that we did move. We went into why we haven't posted in a while, so if you don't know, then check that out.
Bottom line is we back.
Bottom line is we back and we ready, you guys. But also, we also have a previous video where we went over the initial casting. Then when they first announced, you know, the Avatar team, Aang, Sokka, Zuko, Katara, you know, the main people. But since we made
Team Avatar, basically.
Team Avatar.
That's proper terminology.
I said
we have Avatar fans on our channel. We can't afford to make mistakes.
No, but
like
I said that, but the reason why I said that is because people will probably think Toph. You know, there's some people who just don't know about, you know, the casting so far. So we have that so far for you guys, and we've also gotten an update cast. They've actually casted a lot more people, so we were able to come to you today with a pretty good, you know, little thing. We're gonna react to it with you guys and get some commentary. You guys comment in the comment section what you think so far about this casting, all that good stuff. But in the last video, we did discuss the possible casting, the film dates, directors and producers, and a potential plot, because apparently somebody said that the plot was just a rumor that we had talked about. So we don't know. We go over rumors too. So like, if you haven't seen that, if you're interested in knowing what exactly that rumor is, check out the last video. But in this video, we'll be going over the updated cast, filming locations, rumors, not certain, and then also directors and producers, even though we won't really go deep into that because we touched on that in the last video. And then also, we're gonna let you guys know right now, if you don't know, filming dates were in November, so it's already been a few months since they've started. But it also is supposed to end filming in May 2022.
Which is a long time. That is a very long time.
Yep. We don't know when we're going to be able to just see this series, because I would imagine that even having to, you know, edit and all the other kind of stuff with the kind of graphics that they're going to need is going to be, it's going to take a lot of time. So.
What I hope is they're doing sets, which is why it's taking so long. But that's a really, really long time to be filming. Usually a lot of times filming wraps after like maybe 2
and that's
3
why
months.
I'm glad that it's not like, you know, just a few. They're taking their time with it, which I think is great.
Filming for Kenobi wrap.
I mean, it could be like a seasonal thing too, where it might just be like the timeline where the seasons matter and the scenes that they're doing. It could be that. It could be a number of things. Anyways, so let's get into the cast.
All right, first we have the casting for Iroh, who will be played by Paul Sun-Hwang Lee.
Yeah.
Probably got that wrong. We do know that he's best known for Kim's Convenience on Netflix, as well as The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. He's a very well-known actor.
Yep.
I don't know too much of his work outside of seeing, because I've only watched one episode of Kim's Convenience.
I watched that too. Yeah,
but I've seen The Mandalorian, and he's done a really good job in Mandalorian as well.
When I saw this, I was absolutely blown away because of like, this is perfect. Like when I see him, I'm like, that Iroh, that's Iroh for sure.
But can he get the ponytail?
I think, you know, they might have to glue something up there.
Paul Sun-Hwang Lee.
He might have to get like a little weave up there. I don't know if he can grow it out. You know, I think that he can really pull this off, especially with his sense of humor. I think that's perfect for Iroh because he's such a, you know, he has his serious moments from the show, but he's a very lighthearted person. So I think for him playing Iroh is perfect because he's not like, you know, I feel like he would do well with both serious and, you know. Not to mention,
I know he can pull off the kind of bending techniques that Iroh used in Avatar: The Last Airbender, which still to this day I believe that Iroh was one of the most impressive benders as far as his physical form throughout the series.
And he's definitely excited about playing this role. I think he sees it as an honor for sure, because he did do, I'm not sure if it was a live or an interview, but I did see a clip where he was going over how much it meant to him to have you know, a team, like a production and like the, you know, the production team that looked like him that was working on this series.
It's special. That's special. When you see a wall of faces that look like your own. And with something like Airbender, you can't go any other way. You can't. And there is that deep consideration when it comes to casting. And everybody that's up on that wall, too, it's not just because of the color of their skin. They're all accomplished actors. It's incredible.
And not only that, but he also is talking about his admiration for the cast. I think he's very excited the fact that, you know, they're having the Asian representation and things like that, which I feel like I can relate to that, because, you know, for us, when those type of things mean a lot to, you know, minorities, is getting that representation and getting people on, you know, those type of teams that look like you, that can actually pull off what, you know, especially for Avatar, what Avatar really stands for.
Next, we have Iroh's brother, Fire Lord Ozai. The Fire Lord Ozai will be played by Daniel Dae Kim, one of my favorite, probably my favorite Korean American actor, period. We know him from Lost, from Hawaii Five-0. Very, very big Korean actor here in the States. I definitely love that casting. I know he's gonna kill that role.
When
He's
I
gonna
saw it,
absolutely murder.
I was like, is this a rumor or is this fact? Because this is too good to be true. I was like, is it really gonna be him? He's also done Avatar in the past. He voiced General Fong. Yes.
So I mean, this is gonna be Daniel Dae Kim. He's going to kill this role. He's gonna just in the ground, 6 feet under. I know he's gonna, because not only do we know he physically fits the role, but his just
he also has his past.
He has a presence. He has a presence within the Avatar universe, but he also has a presence on set, and then the way that he acts, where he can sort of just
with Iroh, how hardcore he is, and I think he'd be perfect for that. He was also he played the voice of Hiroshi Sato in Legend of Korra as well. So he did both. So that's really awesome.
All right, so now we have Zhao.
It appears I've been promoted to Admiral. My request is now in order.
Right, General Zhao, who will be played by Ken Leung. I'm definitely familiar with him as an actor. We know him from Rush Hour, Lost. He was in Lost as well. Also in Star Wars: The Force Awakens. You see him, you know who he is, and you definitely know he's capable of playing a role like this. Zhao isn't necessarily a big role. He's definitely a supporting character. And Ken Leung is more than capable of playing a supporting role, especially a character, a sort of a undeveloping character like Zhao.
Right. Especially when I saw this, I noticed that this guy doesn't really play too many protagonist roles. He's always like an antagonist. In my mind, I was like, yeah, that's perfect.
Well, he was also in X-Men, the third movie, X-Men 3. X-Men Last Stand.
So this guy, thumbs up for that one.
Lim K-Siu will be playing Monk Gyatso. Interesting casting. I definitely didn't envision it that way myself. That was sort of one that caught me a little off guard. I'm like, but it can work. It can work.
Yeah, especially since Monk Gyatso isn't really in it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I think he's fine. I think he gives me like the Monk Gyatso vibes.
I mean, he's a stage and screen actor, so I mean, he has sort of a level of familiarity with working on stages like this, but I'm more so interested to see what they do with Monk Gyatso.
That's true too.
And I think that's mainly the thing that I'm thinking about. Not necessarily him playing the role, but what role is he going to play in the series? Right. Is he going to be a sort of an in and out presence, like a flashback presence that we saw in Avatar throughout the series, or is he only going to show up maybe once or twice in the series?
That's one
overall?
thing I was thinking too.
That's my main question. What's the purpose of Monk Gyatso going to be in this show?
Right.
Next, we have Kanna, who will be played by Casey Camp Hornick. She is, obviously we know Kanna is the elder woman of the matriarch of the Ponca tribe, from which Sokka and Katara hail, in the Southern Water tribe.
Yeah, so I think I really like this woman right here because, as we already know, that they want to cast, more Asian. They want an Asian and Native American, casting because of the fact that the inspiration from Avatar came from those two cultures. So I like the fact that they actually have a woman here who is heavy in, the native community and everything like that. Like I can put up like what exactly she's a councilwoman. She's a lot of things for the Native American community. So I think that's amazing. And I think somebody had commented once, they're just like, they don't think that the series was diverse enough. And I was like, how? Like, I don't really get it. Like, I think this casting is like very diverse.
I mean, I believe we said it early on. I believe we said early on that the Southern Water Tribe was Water Tribe scene was definitely Native American.
Yeah.
And now that they've actually made the connection between the Native American community and the Southern Water Tribe, the Southern and Northern Water Tribes, I think it just really brings the whole thing together, which is why I said since she's the matriarch of this particular tribe, I think making that connection, I think that's where we're ultimately going to see the connection between Sokka and Katara being essentially sort of from that tribe.
Exactly.
As far as the storyline goes.
Yeah, so we don't know how long she's going to be in the series either. Like, everything is pretty much up in the air. We don't know if she plans on. We know that, obviously Gran wasn't in the series a lot. She was only in there for like maybe season 1, a little bit of season 1. And then after that, we didn't see her. So maybe she'll just be an appearance. But
all right. Next, we have Avatar Kyoshi. Definitely a fan favorite. Will be played by Yvonne Chapman.
Yes. Now this one, I was like, But then I was like, yes, actually.
I still say no. I've seen Kung Fu. I've seen that show Kung Fu, and
you know what? She probably is. She probably upped her game since then. Wait, that's that show on CW, right?
The acting was atrocious, and you know it.
It's impressive that you survived our first encounter. Fool me once.
Wait, Kung Fu was that series, right? That came out?
It was atrocious.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I couldn't get through 10 minutes of that.
Yeah, I couldn't
The acting, the fight scenes, the script, very bad.
I think if she can get the acting part down, she'll be fine.
I mean, Micaiah, that's what the profession is. How can you say like she has a job for if she can get the acting part down? That's only the first aspect of it.
I mean, because Kyoshi isn't like I don't know what they plan to do with Kyoshi. I think that's a big question. Like, Kyoshi wasn't really like in your face. She was every now and then like sporadic throughout the series. So like, for me, it's just like, well, what exactly is she gonna be doing?
That one instance of bad acting can destroy the rhythm.
That's true, because Kyoshi, she's like
she's a very important character. Not to mention, she's considered to be a staple of the Avatar universe.
Yeah, she's not like Kyoshi's a woman of little words, so maybe she won't have to say too much if her acting isn't the best. But as long as she can get like the facial expression, because Kyoshi is kind of like straight face, like she's a boss, like she's a boss. So I think that like she should be okay.
If she struggles acting, trying to play a role, because Kyoshi is a no mess character. She is a very serious character, and a lot of aspects of Kyoshi are very dark. Like, so she has to be able to.
Read the books, and
you have to be able to channel that and actually be able to play that character.
She has some big shoes to fill, literally.
This is not a joke. This is not a joke. That is a very difficult character. Now we have Yukari, Suki's mother. This is a new character.
Yes.
This is a very new character who will be played by Tamlin Tomito.
She's supposed to be playing the mayor of Kyoshi Island, which we know was originally, played by the guy named Oyaji. So we don't know whether or not she's going to be taking over that role completely, like replacing him or not, or if he's still going to be there. We don't know. But we do know that they'll be introducing Kyoshi's mother, which I don't really see the point, because even in a comic, I read the comic, I have the comic, and I don't think that they ever brought in her mother at all, even in the comic. So I'm just kind of like, why? Because I feel like I don't really see the point.
I didn't see too much of the point in it. They're probably just looking for diversity in a sense of gender diversity. Yeah. Sort of diversifying those characters a little bit, maybe. But I love the choice. Yeah. They couldn't have done much better than Tamlin. I mean, she has a deep history in acting, going way back to the Karate Kid. She played Yumiko in Karate Kid Part 2. That's way back in the late 1980s. And now she's sort of, she was also in Cobra Kai recently playing the same part as Kumiko. And she was in The Day After Tomorrow in 2004, a great movie that I enjoyed. Teen Wolf, How to Get Away with Murder. She did great at How to Get Away with Murder. The Good Doctor, she was great in The Good Doctor. And The Man in the High Castle, which I personally haven't seen. But she has a lot of experience, especially in playing roles like this. Because keep in mind what was required of her in Karate Kid Part 2, playing Kumiko. She had to know some form of martial arts. So she has played a role in which sort of separate from bending, because Suki can't bend, she can't bend. But the martial art she's familiar with it. She's been on sets with it. So it's a lot of people discount that experience. Like it's where, like I tell people all the time, it doesn't always, especially when you're playing sports. Veteran presence is important because a lot of times they have been there before. So they can say, oh yeah, don't do it this way. This is how you prepare for an action scene. Or this is the angle that you should come from when you're trying to do this particular scene. Because she's been in a movie like The Karate Kid and like Cobra Kai that utilizes many fight scenes that sort of make the movie itself.
And you know what? I think this is another thing about the series. I think they're going in a great direction, is getting those people with experience. Because they have a lot of older people, especially, that are very experienced in that.
New actors, fresh young actors who are a lot of them. This is probably going to be their big break. But veteran presence, a lot of veteran presence and a lot of age on that cast. Which is exactly what you need. You need young characters to propel the show, but you need the older characters to hold it in support.
Yeah, I imagine they won't have her in like a big role. Like we said, we really don't know any of these characters, especially the ones that usually had like the smaller role in the series, whether or not they're going to become like bigger characters. But I'm not against this at all. I think that it'll be a nice touch. My question is just how they plan on using her and what was the point of her. I don't want her to just be in there and she makes no sense being in it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like one of those things.
Yeah, it's really gonna fall into the plot and everything like that. But the casting itself, I can see it being very, very good. I like who they chose. Next we have Suki herself, gonna be played by Maria Zhao. Very, very nice casting. Go ahead.
So with her, she is a newcomer. So this is actually her biggest role. So she hasn't really done anything in the past, but she's like, her age is, they think she's between like maybe 18 and 19. As far as her looks, I think it's fine. I don't at least she's not looking older than how some people look or anything like that. I think that's a problem with some movies. They try to age up people a little bit the way that they look, and I think that this is fine. My only concern is that, like with Suki, she knows a lot of martial arts, so I don't really know her background in that, because that's a big part of Suki, because she's not a bender. So I wonder if she has a background.
Not to mention very athletic.
Yes.
Suki is extremely athletic.
And I'm sure a lot of it, of course, will probably have to be like, you know, effects and everything and certain things like that. So we don't have to worry too much about like, you know, certain things, but at least some type of background.
It's important that she at least knows, because I mean, they're not gonna. I mean, you're gonna have to be able to do something. And
that's probably a reason why they're.
That's a lot. That's a lot where that's a lot where the first Avatar movie went wrong. Is that people didn't really know how to actually. You know, they had to use special effects for literally everything. Like, I don't know why 3 people are swinging their arms, but only one little rock. One little rock is moving.
It was so
like,
bad.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that sort of concerns me a little bit too, is how they're gonna make the bending work. But it's gonna take real athleticism from those characters in order to make these moves come to life. Because if you only have the ability to just swing your arms, there's only so much special effects can't hide what it is that you're doing.
And the thing is, it's not impossible to get familiar with it, because we've seen a lot of times, even in Cobra Kai.
Keanu Reeves is the perfect example. Yeah,
even in the cast of Cobra Kai, a lot of them didn't even know anything about martial arts before they started the series, and then they learned it. And even in the show, it's not like it doesn't look bad. Like they look okay. So I think with her, it'll be okay, and especially since their filming process is going to be quite a while. It'll give them more time to get it, acclimated or whatever with the martial arts.
And what I hope they do is that they take a George Lucas approach with what George Lucas did with Star Wars, where he said we're going to spend the whole first part of the filming process just doing the speaking parts, and then we're gonna do all the fight scenes at the end. I would prefer that they broke it up, mainly because you need to be in a certain type shape, and you need time to prepare for those scenes. I think doing them all at the end will give you time to perfect it, and also have them be able to completely not have to worry about lines and everything like that, but completely lock in to the physical aspect of playing this role.
Yeah, look wise and everything, she checks out. I mean, even though she's kind of new to the whole acting thing and she hasn't really had any big projects yet, we
know Netflix gets cheap. Netflix gets very cheap
sometimes. And you know what, they have these big time actors here, so maybe that could be a reason why. I mean, I'm sure she had some type of reason why they chose her, even with her not being experienced, so we'll just have to see what happens.
Next we have, now this one I'm a little bit worried about, Azula.
Yes, we defeated you for all time. You will never rise from the ashes of your shame and humiliation.
Yes.
Played by Elizabeth Yu. Go ahead. Once you explain it, they'll understand where I am with this. Go ahead.
So, this is going to be her big role. So she's only played in 2. I believe that she said that she appeared in All My Love, which I never even seen that before. I don't know if that's on Netflix or what. And also
a Ray Romano movie is Untitled.
I don't know, because you know what, I was just talking to them before we started recording. I was saying that the concern with that is because Azula has so many layers emotionally and all this other kind of stuff, and Azula is a big character, a big one. She's a big antagonist in the series, and my concern is that maybe she won't be able to tap into Azula's character like she should be able to.
That's the thing, is that Azula is insane. She's unstable. And a lot of people discount. There's a reason why when you watch horror films,
right,
you consistently see some of the same actors playing those roles. It's like you don't see just random actors floating in and out of horror.
Right.
There's certain actors that are able to tap into those things that other actors can't.
Right.
So usually when you're watching like horror films or movies with certain insane asylums, you're seeing a repetition of some of the same characters in those roles, because it's not something easy to tap into. Now Azula is what you would consider a soft mental health disorder, where it's sort of throughout the show, you sort of see it getting worse and worse and worse until the end, where she just loses it. Right. But to play a role like that, where you're sort of hiding it and masking it and slowly just allowing it to sort of seep out and then just eventually exploding, that's not easy to do.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult thing to do. That's why we don't see a lot of characters do it. A lot of actors do it.
I think that Azula is way more the way that she thinks and everything, and her psychology is way more intense than even Zuko's. Because I think that Dallas Lewis, he's fine, because I think he has the experience to be able to carry out Zuko's character the way it needs to be. But for them to bring in somebody that's not familiar already with, playing roles like that, is gonna be difficult.
And a lot of Zuko is mostly anger and resentment and rejection, which is easy for someone. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's a lot. It's not as difficult.
Yeah, Azula by
as
far
channeling
is the hardest one.
Channeling some sort of rejection or anger and acting is one thing, but the swarm of all of them at the same time is what being insane is.
Right.
And that's what Azula is. She's unhinged in a lot of ways. So being able to channel that, especially as a new actor, like that's something that people usually don't begin doing until they're like 10, 15 years in.
Right.
And like I said, Azula is not just an outright crazy person where you can just go nuts. You have to sort of control it.
Right.
And sort of allow it to sort of show itself at points more and more and more until eventually you just let it go. And that's not something that's easy to do. Rumors. There's still no casting for Ty Lee, May, or Toph. I'm interested to see those castings. Very interested to see those castings.
However, the rumor is that May and Ty Lee are most likely going to be making an appearance in season 1. So, I mean, I guess.
And that was going to be my guess. I figured that I'm pretty sure there's going to be more than one season.
Right.
They probably won't make an appearance, a real appearance, till season 2, which they didn't really in the Avatar: Last Airbender series.
But I don't really see the harm in putting them in the first season if they want to kind of introduce them as You know, it depends on how they plan on doing it. Like,
are they still breaking it up into water, earth, fire?
I don't think that's how they're gonna do it. But I mean, like I said, I don't think it's that big of a deal. You know, I am curious to who they're gonna cast for these parts, and they haven't, you know, casted for Toph, which I'm like, I think they're working on casting for Toph. I don't think they've got anything official yet, unless they're just keeping it on the down low for now. I don't know when they plan on introducing her at all. She might not even be in the first season. So.
And Toph is also going to be a very difficult person, a very difficult character to play, only because of how young she is, and playing such a powerful character. You got to sort of especially the person who they cast to play Toph is going to be young. It's going to have to be a very young character, a very young actor. It's going to be difficult to play a role like that where you have so much power.
So if you want to get updates on the latest news on Avatar, all that kind of stuff, I'll link in the description. Instagram. They also have a website as well. I put it in the last video as well, but they have great updates and everything about everything Avatar, especially when it comes to the Netflix live series. So I'll let you guys know that now, but I'll definitely be keeping up to date with it, and we'll definitely talk about it on our Instagram when they start announcing it, so make sure you follow our Instagram as well. Alright, so the other rumor is location. So they've been kind of dropping hints of where these certain locations would be at. One of them is actually called How Sound, and that is all the way in Vancouver, which is where they're at right now filming. So it's been rumored that they're out there scouting for locations. So this is one of the locations that they're scouting, and we're thinking that it could probably be Kyoshi Island, which is, I think, looking at it, I think this would be a perfect spot for
It would be
Kyoshi
perfect.
Island.
I think, I mean, and I know a lot of people don't think about stuff like this, but even when you're looking at Southern Water Tribe, Alaska.
That's true.
Alaska would be perfect.
I mean,
now granted, dates and times and different things like that, you got to get the timing right, because now it's not, it's days are shorter, days are longer. It's not particularly dark all 6 months or light all 6 months. It's just like timing's kind of mixed up. Yeah. But I think that would be a perfect place to film for that.
Location's gonna be a big deal.
It's gonna be a big deal.
Series. So we're gonna skip over the production stuff because I don't really feel like it really hasn't really updated much. They've got some new people on the team, and obviously pretty much the production and directors are pretty much Asian, which I feel like is amazing because, I mean, they're gonna make Avatar. They're gonna give Avatar they're gonna give Avatar the representation that it deserves, and they're gonna stay true to the culture and everything like that. So I feel like they'll do a great job doing that. It's gonna be interesting to see what this team comes up with, and I know for them it's definitely a special moment to have such an iconic series that they can relate to, you know, and actually be able to play a part in that. So I know it's definitely probably emotional, and we'll definitely feel that through the series. So I think that's gonna help the series.
There is a huge standard. A huge standard, lots of pressure on the show. I'm still worried about the storyline itself because there's a reason why the directors left. Right. Which worries me still.
That's what I was gonna make a point too, is that they left, so something is not right. Now, one thing I did want to say is you can, like, with series like this, when it's just an adaptation, it's just like, okay, you can have fun with it and it can still be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't want to look at it and be like, okay, so this has to be exactly like the series because it's an adaptation.
I never expected it to be.
Right.
Because you can't do everything the same way.
Because it can still be good and it's not really the same as the series, even though I feel like it'll kind of, you know, make some people feel some type of way with certain things. You know, I feel like it could still be good and not be the same. Because maybe with the original creators, they're just like, well, we just can't vibe with this. Which is okay because they created it, and to see somebody go in and just turn it in different ways that you know, originally didn't, you know, make it for and all that kind of stuff. It's got to be a hard thing to do. But one thing that I have been excited about is seeing the connections being made with each of these characters, especially with Team Avatar in particular. Because they do post a lot together. They go on lives.
Lord Farquaad got nothing on this, bro. It's over.
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy.
And things like that. And I think it's just so cool to see them interact with each other. Because
I don't like Zuko being friends. You're not allowed to be friends yet. Back off, Dallas. They're becoming friends way too quickly. Yeah. We don't want that to come across on film. I know that
him and the guy who's playing Sokka, they hang out all the time. So I'm just like, it's pretty dope to see them come together. Because I think it gets us excited about the series because you're seeing them interact. You're just like, you know that their chemistry is going to show through in the series. At least they're all getting along, which I really like that. And not only just with them, with Team Avatar themselves, but also Dante Bosco is, advising Dallas Liu on, Zuko. So he's just kind of like, I'm passing it on to you. I'm passing on the torch to you. So you're playing Zuko now. So it's kind of cool that you're having that interaction between, the OGs and then the newcomers coming in. It's no beef or nothing like that. It's just kind of like, hey, respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're playing them, but I played them too. So it's kind of cool to see them come together and just kind of like, get along in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. There's a lot of good connections. One question that I do have is this going to be a more serious and darker take on Avatar: The Last Airbender? Because it's hard to bring across. It's hard to bring across the same sort of comedic aspect of what Avatar was as an animated series.
Right.
It's hard to bring that kind of comedy to life with a bunch of teenagers.
That's true.
So I'm thinking it's probably going to be a lot more serious. So you're not. Don't expect Sokka to be Sokka.
But from what I can tell about the guys who are going to be playing Iroh, I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I can't remember his name. What's his name? So I can say
you're talking about Paul's son, Young.
So
Paul's son.
Paul, who's going to be playing Iroh, was actually saying how Sokka is still the same goofy Sokka. When he was talking about how talented the guy who's playing Sokka is and how similar the two are. So I think Sokka is still going to have his humor. He's not going to change too much, which is what we talked about initially in the video when we talked about the cast, is that we still wanted Sokka to be the same Sokka. As long as they stay true to the core of the characters, I'm fine. Also, we have the voice actor of Iroh and then a live action actor who's playing Iroh coming together for some jasmine tea. That was pretty
Now
cool.
The original Iroh did pass away.
Oh, not the original Iroh. I'm sorry.
No. It's Iroh's voice actor. So it's the same Iroh. It's the same Iroh.
Yeah.
But remember, there were two.
Yeah, there were two.
The first one passed away, and Greg Baldwin took his place.
Right. So it was Greg Baldwin and other Iroh. And I think that's pretty dope that they're coming together to bring the spirit of Iroh. And it's kind of just like, it's kind of the same thing with Dante Bosco and Dallas Liu, that they're coming together and just kind of like getting in that vibe.
I mean, maybe the original voice actor for Azula can have a conversation with. I'm just saying. Think about it, because think about the things that she did with the voice of Azula.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, she might be able to.
I know. I've seen her. She does a lot of voice acting in general. I think she does some stuff for anime and things like that. I've seen her on TikTok, and she's like a very nice woman. And I think that would be kind of cool too, because I think the young woman is going to need a lot of help.
She's going to need some help because she's still new to. It's not saying that she's not a good actor. It's saying that she's still very, very new to this.
Right.
And she can use all the help she can get, and that's what goes for all the newer actors.
But I think she has so many people behind her that I think will be open to helping her figure that stuff out. That's definitely going to help her.
I mean, she's got a great set of female actors,
and not even just
and not even just them, but the male actors.
Right.
The Day Kims and and the Paul Lee. She has so much support, so much better support.
Yeah, it's so cool to see the collaboration between the people from the series and the people from this live action series coming together to make sure that this is this ends up being like a great series for people to watch and still get that nostalgia and still feel that same feeling that we get watching the original Avatar series. So I'm very interested. Love this cast. I hope that they don't waste this cast with a stupid plot and storyline pissing people off. So we just gotta cross our fingers and hope that they do this series justice. But I think that they have a very strong production team, and I think they have a very strong casting. So I think they should be fine. Everything's checking out. And the funny thing is that initially we're just saying that they shouldn't go through with the live action at all. But I wasn't expecting them to do all this that they're doing. So they're definitely shocking me so far. So we'll just have to see what happens.
Netflix. I'm not getting my hopes up.
I'm not getting my hopes up either. But
I like the cast, but I refuse to be hurt again.
Also, if you, like we said, to make sure that you check out our update video, because we did talk a little bit about possibly doing a Twitch stream where we all react to the series together, which is like a big thing because we started this channel off talking about Avatar. We love Avatar.
Oh, yes.
That is our core. I mean, I love Avatar, love it so much. So I think that's something that we're most likely going to do. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stick around. Comment, like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. And yeah, stay tuned for what else we got for you guys. And yeah.
Post to the thumbnail.